Yo, what up, YouTube? Today's topic is going to be hygiene. Why are you compensating with external hygienic materials? For example, you're using dish soap and these chemicals to clean your dishes. You're using detergents to wash your clothes. You're using shampoos and conditioners to wash your hair. You're cutting your hair. You're shaving your hair. But let's go back to soap and the idea of soap as a cleaning agent. Now let's really think about that, what the idea of soap is. And to me, soap and the term clean really is just a product of death culture. Anytime you clean something with, say, like a detergent or a dish soap, it's literally just creating a sterile environment, no life, death. And here's something as well. Okay, so for example, anything you put on your skin goes in your skin. And you're using detergents to wash your clothes. Other forms of lotions, whatever it may be, any hygienic product. Moisturizers, which are really just constipating the skin and giving you a false sense of hydration. Any external form of hygiene is essentially a crutch. The external is going to be symptomatic, whereas internal hygiene is going to be addressing the true cause. And dish soap being clean, last time I checked, I wouldn't want to be eating dish soap. It's absolutely disgusting, yet people are washing their dishes with it. They're washing everything with it. They're literally putting it into their mouth, when they're eating off their plates. One thing I wanted to touch on was the germ theory and why soap is even so prevalent. Man, the germ theory literally comes from the idea, or like the evil spirit theory, that we have evil spirits inside of us, and these greater evil spirits can be cleansed with lesser evil spirits. And then, which comes from European, Caucasian theory, culture, people that literally just pissed where they lived and practiced no form of hygiene whatsoever, drank out of stagnant water. No wonder they live such short lifespans. Hygiene is essential. Internal hygiene, I should say. The Black Plague, all these plagues are just a form of not practicing internal hygiene or external hygiene. Okay, for example, here we go. Your temple, your body is, or I should say, your house is also a representation of your temple. How you keep your house will also, to some degree, represent how you treat your temple within you. And so you've got your kitchen, you've got your your garbage system, you've got the place where you sleep, you've got all these different places, and how your kitchen looks is really a good idea as to what's going on inside of you. If you're using animal products like animal flesh, dairy, if you're cooking with refined oils, if you're using all these horribly mucus pus forming substances, then you're going to be drawn to needing some form of chemical cleaning agent, because it's so unnatural, it's so far from nature that we've created this need for compensation. So me personally, I don't even use soap in my kitchen for laundry. There's just really not a need. Like, for example, pretty much getting down on fruits, herbs, vegetables, tender leafy greens. And even when you cook those, I wouldn't cook all those, but say like you're cooking vegetables, you can rinse the pan out. You're not gonna need some scrub brush and some Dawn dish soap to get the cooked flesh that is now burnt onto your pan off. And that also coincides with your sewage system, your garbage. It's like that shit is gonna smell rancid, like real bad, if you're throwing away, steak bones and leftover old dairy products. And I mean, you leave that shit out for any period of time and it just stinks. You have to get it out ASAP. Whereas most of the time my garbage smells like bananas. Just because we usually have so many bananas in the house. I have a couple roommates now. But yeah, anyways, that's just going to be like a direct reflection of what's going on inside. And you notice if you make like a smoothie with like fruits, you can rinse it out with water. It's super easy. If your dishes and utensils and all these things in the kitchen are easy to cleanse with just water, that's how it's going to be like inside your body when you're cooking all of these rancid, disgusting, mucus, pus-forming foods. They're going to take a lot of compensation to get cleaned out of the body, to get cleaned off the pans and whatever was being used to prepare it. Yeah, man, it's pretty simple. So yeah, I wanted to touch on that, and then I also want to talk a little bit about my experience with like chlorella and spirulina. So I've messed around with it quite a bit, like the tabs and powders, etc. And I haven't really felt much from it. Got online, did some research, noticed that the cell wall needs to be broken for any form of bioavailability. But okay, if you think when the cell's broken, that's instantly compromised. It's gonna create oxidation. It's gonna destroy the chemicals or the compounds within the cell. It's going to alter its chemistry essentially, and that should just be a tip off the old hat right there, that anything that needs to be broken, altered, or changed from its natural state to have any bioavailability within the body should just not be used. If it can't be used in its natural state, it's probably not going to be the most beneficial thing for your body. I know there's like research out there, and I know people touted it as like doing lots of great stuff for them, but there's always going to be better options. And yeah, also like I've heard that it like cleanses heavy metals too, but there's so many other ways to do that, like the natural non-hybridized herbs, dandelion, stinging nettle. It's going to be incredible for that. Just so many. One sec, guys, gotta get over. So yeah, anyways, I didn't really feel much from it. I personally just kind of think it's another product. That's why it's heavily marketed to the degree that it is. As a alternative, I might recommend like alfalfa, dandelion, and nettles. It's like a green powder, or like a sea moss bladderwrack tea, which I really feel like, that's really energizing to the body. The last thing I want to touch on is giving advice. Man, giving advice to parasites, you're just asking for a slow suicide. You're just willing to give your energy, which is not going to be a mutual exchange. So when you give somebody advice and they don't take it, but they keep coming back to you for advice, you're literally just feeding them your energy. It might be worthwhile to provide them with a resource of information to check out for themselves. Once they start taking initiative and actually doing something for themselves, then maybe it could be worthwhile to talk to them, share your personal experiences, get into it a little bit deeper with them. But if they're not even willing to take the first step of just like doing something, even just like looking into the research, why are you wasting your time even talking to them about that type of information? So yeah, parasites will drain you through and through. I also want to talk about parasites too, with going back to the whole germ theory. So yeah, the evil spirits, it has now developed into the germ theory. That's where the evil spirit theory came from. And so they think that these viruses and bacteria and parasites, etc., are the cause of all these diseases, or whatever they may be. But for example, a parasite isn't just going to come into your body without you inviting it. Like, we create the environment to which these parasites come in. Like, you're the host, they're the guest. For example, we put this waste in our body, or foods that don't eliminate, they create waste, plaque, mucus builds up. The foods break down into mucus. There's a mucosa response by the mucosa membrane, and then the parasites come in as nature intended them to. They're like nature's garbage men, to start breaking down that waste and start processing it. But it's by your own demise. We basically create the environment for them, and so that should just show you that you have the ability to create an environment to which they cannot thrive in, by cleansing the waste, cleansing the mucus, really practicing internal hygiene versus external hygiene. Then you can begin to remove the parasites, the worms, the larvae that they lay, whatever it may be, because you are now creating a environment that is no longer conducive to them. They cannot live within it. Man, I'm just watching all these fucking high school kids walk out of this bakery with like cheese bread shit with sodas, and like just blown away by the lack of information. And that's really what it is. It's a lack of information. Lack of understanding. Lack of understanding. What's another thing? Okay, so this is kind of interesting. Like, mainstream medical doctors, they're good at surgery and they're good at diagnosing pills. And I'm going back to the whole external hygiene thing. But like, so many people cut their hair and keep it so short. I mean, I have my hair short right now too. But they do that because it's always greasy and nasty. And it's uncomfortable for them. They might have like dandruff and it just gets gross. So they just cut it off. It's literally the same idea as like a surgeon going in and cutting out an organ because it's not working right. Or, it's like Oh, your septic tank's full. We better remove it. Don't need that anymore. What? It's like, well, where's the shit gonna go when you remove the septic tank? Oh, who knows? You don't need it. Where's our money? Where's our money? So, just to sum it up, that was kind of a weird rant. Practice internal hygiene before external hygiene. Internal hygiene is going to be addressing the cause of why you're compensating with external hygiene for the most part. I mean, I'm not saying don't shower and don't rinse your body off, don't use natural cleaning agents. So like apple cider vinegar might be a nice alternative to soap as far as like a household cleaning agent. Look into like organic natural soaps as far as like washing the body. Soap nuts are great if you don't just want to use like hot water to wash your clothes. I have like a box of soap nuts. I don't use it right now, but I have in the past. They do work extremely well. It's a really interesting concept. It's just like the hull of a nut that comes off of a tree and it develops suds like soap. Really good stuff. If you're waking up in the morning, you have greasy hair that's nasty and you have grease on your face, stop eating fat. The refined oils mostly. Let me know if you guys have any questions. dlb949@msn.com is the email address. Find me on Facebook. I'll provide some information below. As far as the social media, I'm a certified botanical detox specialist with Dr. Robert Morse, or via Dr. Robert Morse's school. He's got some amazingly effective herbal formulas, methodologies, protocols to follow. I've had great success. I've had other people that I've worked with, just a few now, that have had some great success. So yeah, I'm totally trying to help, work, share information with anybody that I can. So let me know what I can do for you guys. Peace.